All right. Good afternoon and welcome to Painting with Whitney. Today I'm gonna teach you how to blow an egg, and then I'm gonna show you a couple different ways of how you can decorate it once it's blown out, I guess. All right, great. So, okay, great. All right, so let's see. Oh, good, we have somebody on. Awesome. Okay. All right, so all we're gonna need is an egg, something to poke it with. So if you have a push pin, or I guess you could do maybe the back of an earring, or a what's this? A paper clip. We also use the paper clip to basically mix around the yolk and get it so we can blow it out. All right, so let me just see this. 1 second, so that I can pull this up on my other computer. Oh, here, I can just look it up. Oh, perfect. All right, great. So here I am. All right, so let's get started. All right, let's go to the beginning. Blowing out the inside of the egg. So if you have tape, they said that you could put a piece of tape a little bit on the top and the bottom of the egg if you'd like. I tried that and the tape didn't stick. So, all right. So you might want a bowl, or you want something underneath that when you blow it out, it's not just getting on the ground or wherever. Let me situate this so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I make this a little bit lower. Sorry. Okay. All right. Now you can actually see a little bit more. Okay, great. So here we go. So I have a paper towel or a cloth underneath my bowl. And I have a bobby pin, or not a bobby pin, a push pin. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so no problem there. All right, okay, so bowl. Oh, thanks for the like, great. Push pin, or what else did they say? Let's see. Poke a small hole in the top of the egg with a thumbtack. If you don't have a thumbtack, it just said you can use any object that has a thin pointed tip, such as a needle or a nail. Oh, great. Modensi's watching it on TV. Great. I let everyone know that if you can't type in the chat box and you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can send me a text message, which I know Zelda I had on here. Okay, great. So, all right. So I got my egg. I got my sharp utensil. I already blew one so that I could make sure I knew what I was doing before I started. So you kind of want to like cradle it in your hand, but don't grab it. And then just kind of, so hold it kind of loosely. And you just want to try to stick this through. You think you're going to, oh, there we go. All right, so see? And then you're going to kind of push it in. Let's see, to try to widen the hole a little bit. So you kind of move it around in a circle, and then you can see that kind of that size hole. Okay. All right. So then once you have a hole on one side or the top side, whichever, you could do either one, then we're going to flip it around and we're going to poke another hole on the bottom. And if any of this process takes you longer, that's fine. You can always come back and look at the video afterwards. I'll also send out instructions if you'd like. All right, so we flipped it over. You have your bowl or plate or whatever underneath so that whenever the inside of the egg comes out, it's not spilling all over. All right, same thing, kind of hold it loosely. And then we're gonna poke it through. Okay. All right. And then I'm just kind of moving it around. They said to make the hole on the bottom bigger. Actually, I'm feeling more comfortable about this now. An egg is very fragile, but actually you're able to do this somehow. I don't know. So yeah, once you have a hole, it's kind of easier to kind of push it to make it bigger. Oops, I made it kind of big. Oh well. Okay. You don't have to make yours as big, but that's kind of how big I made my bottom one. All right, so once you are done, let's keep going down. Okay, so once you're done and you have your top hole in your egg and your bottom hole in your egg, why don't you take, okay, you can also use a pin, toothpick, or needle. What I did was I took a paper clip and I opened it up so that it was straight. Okay. Like this. Or like they said, if you don't have it, you can use a pin, like a bobby pin too, you can open, a toothpick, or a needle. Be careful if you're using a needle. Okay, so now you're gonna poke it into one of the holes, or you're gonna insert it, and you're gonna kind of move it around. Okay, so almost like you're stirring. You're kind of stirring the inside of the egg. Don't worry about pushing hard against, or don't push hard against the inside of the egg, like the wall of the egg. You're just basically, you're mixing up the yolk so that you're able to blow it through the egg. Okay, as you can see, stuff's already kind of coming out one side. So I'm gonna just stir it. And then let's take it out. See, you can see a little bit of the yolk already. Let's spin it around and then let's stir in that way too. And see, it's already coming out. Okay, so stir it just to make sure that we're able to. Okay. Yeah, don't wiggle the paper clip too forcefully or you will crack the egg. If you crack the egg and you have another one, that's great. Okay, so I think I am ready. So I'm taking out the paper clip. I'm gonna wipe off the top. So you want the bottom hole to be the bigger hole. All right, and so let's do this. All right, so you're going to blow through the small hole at the top to push the yolk out the bottom, or to push out everything that's in here. Breathe in your nose and then breathe out forcefully, not too forcefully, into the egg, and it will start coming out. Make sure you hold it over your bowl. So let's see. Okay, so it's coming out, and then I kind of been shaking it too. Or as it starts coming out, if you're having a hard time with that, you can just put your paper clip back in, and it kind of comes out more that way as well. So I was kind of doing a combination. All right, let's see. See? It's funny because what happens is the last thing to come out is the yolk. So this is the clear part. But just take your time. It's not easy. It's not super hard though either. But I do like that once you kind of get the stream going, you can just poke your paper clip or whatever back in and kind of pull it out that way. And then I kind of shake it over. Oh, wow, I got a lot of it out now. So okay. All right. That actually worked out better than my other egg. Okay, so. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all enough time to get that done for you. Once you think you have most of it, just put it aside. I'm going to do one more so I can give you different options of decorations. So back to the beginning, you don't have to do multiple eggs. I'm just showing you. And I already have one actually from earlier that I blew out. All right, so push pin, something sharp, poke it through the top. If you feel like you're having a hard time getting the yolk through, you can take your paper clip and start kind of stirring the inside more because maybe it hasn't broken up yet. Okay, so I'm just showing you again. You can make as many eggs as you'd like, or just one. It's up to you. So I made the hole not too big on the top. And there's going to start having stuff coming out. Flip it around to the bottom. Hold it gently. And put pressure on it to make a hole. I kind of find that instead of going like this, I kind of cradle it so as to not push too hard on it, but it's kind of finding the right. All right, there we go. So once you get it through, you kind of have a sense of it. Okay, but I need to make this hole bigger. All right, so if you're having a hard time making it bigger, you can kind of do it like that, although now it's going to be kind of big, but that's okay. And then you kind of move it around, and you can see that hole is already bigger. Okay, so making sure that it is going to be clear to come out. Uh-oh. Yeah, now this one's going to be really big. Okay, well, I accidentally made it bigger. I'm going to leave it alone now. And, okay. Now I'm coming back with my paper clip, putting it in the hole, and stirring it around. As you can see, it starts coming out on its own. This one actually might just come out on its own because the hole's kind of big. But luckily, you can always cover up the hole You can put tape over it or let's see, or glue. Okay, so mixing that up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around. And I have a feeling that when I flip it around, it's going to come out pretty easily out of the bottom. So it already is. Okay. So there we go. Oh, wow. Yeah, that hole got even bigger. Okay, well, it is what it is. Okay, I'm getting off the liquid so that I can blow it through. Okay, well, great. That one came out a lot easier. All right. Okay, so once you are done with this, okay, so they say to rinse the empty shells and let them dry overnight, but if you'd like to keep going, you can. So you want to rinse water through the eggs, maybe the bigger part of the egg, so I'm going to run over to the sink to do that. I also got a tip that what you can do, well, okay, let's just, okay, so rinse the water to remove any extra pieces of the yolk that still may be inside. Hold the egg with the top hole facing up so the water runs through the egg and out the bottom hole. Okay, so I'm going to go do that. So you go, the water is going to go in the smaller part or the top of the egg, so it'll come out the bottom. You want the yellow out. So, and then when you're done, maybe put them on paper towels. You can rinse out your bowl, and I will be right back. Put it to the side for a second. All right, so I just ran a bunch of water through. Also, what you can do is you can put a little bit of soap on them and rinse that off too. So I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So now they said you can lay them out on paper towels. What I did with my last one was I tried to kind of shake it. See, a bunch is still coming out. So you can kind of help with the drying process that way. Okay, let me look up this. All right. I'm going to go to the top of this. Okay, well, I don't know where I read it, but okay. All right, so you have an option if you'd like. If you use soap, that's good. So it said sanitize the eggs, use a little bit of dish soap or vinegar along with the water. Okay, so you can do vinegar as well. So this one seems pretty dry. Okay. This other one, let's see. Yeah, it still has water coming out. So you can dry them somewhere on a paper towel if you'd like. I think what's also great about your egg carton is it's a perfect place to have them sit to dry. Also, another option is if you'd like them to be completely dry sooner than letting them sit, is you can microwave the egg shell because now it's an egg shell. So if you'd like to microwave it, make sure that you put it in I'd say probably more of a cup or a bowl that's microwave safe or glass without anything on it. And all you do, and that's what I did with the other egg, was I just put it in the microwave for 12 seconds and it dries out the inside. They said you could do that a couple times. I just did it once. And okay, so I guess I'll just do that real quick since I want to show you guys all finished products by the time we're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eggs, do it one at a time, put one in a bowl, a glass bowl in the microwave for 12 seconds, and then I'm going to switch out, put the other egg in the microwave for 12 seconds, and then I will be right back. Great. If you microwave your eggshells, be careful because they're going to be hot. All right, I'm back. So, okay, Zelda, you said your hole got a little bit, a little big at the bottom. So did mine. That's okay. See, this one's kind of big. Like I said, we can kind of cover it up. So no worries. All right, so now I have 3 eggs. So I said that you could grab your paints because I thought we could paint them, or if you have a Sharpie or a permanent marker, you can do that. And then I also wanted to show you how to do kind of like what they say, like paper mache. But if you have tissue paper, like I have this really pretty tissue paper I've been wanting to use from Christmas time. As you can see, it's like snowflakes. So I'm going to try to use one of these. All right, so I'm not going to use more than one. All right. guess I'll do this to one and then I'll paint another one and show you. Also, I was going to do maybe some glitter. So I'm just looking for, all right, so my Mod Podge, or if you have Elmer's glue, you can just mix that with a little bit of water. And since we're doing kind of like I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of paper mache, I'm just going to cut this so it's pieces and not just one big part. So I'm going to put that one over there. Kind of just cutting it, you know, with the pieces kind of small, since you're just gonna like layer them basically. Okay. Getting them smaller. Oh, that one's opening up even more. All right, so let's see. Don't want it too big. You can even like, let's say I wanted to cut, with this is what I could do is, let's say I wanted to cut out one of these snowflakes. So I'm gonna just go around it. All right. All right, cool. So let's say I have a paintbrush here. All right, so I got a little bit of tissue paper. You can pour your glue or your Mod Podge or whatever you're using as an adhesive out onto a plate, or I have a little, forgot what it's called, but a paint kind of holder. Pour a little bit on there. And what I'm gonna do is, they always want the paper to be saturated. I think what you can just do is, I'm gonna say, all right, so actually with this one, I'm gonna use it to cover up the bottom hole. So first what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to just put some of the glue on the eggshell itself around that bottom part. And you can use kind of a generous amount because the tissue paper is supposed to be saturated or wet. So just gonna go like that. All right. And then I'm gonna take the little paper and I'm gonna kind of put it on, kind of smooth it out as best I can. Obviously it's not gonna be super smooth, but that is, I think, the benefit of making it smaller, like maybe even smaller paper than this, or smaller cuts. Next, now that it's on there, you want to cover this with the glue so that it's completely on here. Take your time. What's so great about the Mod Podge too is it's a glue, but also it's a sealant, which means that it'll keep this on and keep it kind of shiny or whatever. So it's like kind of like a gloss. If you are gluing stuff on here, you can also use nail polish, a clear one, to coat it if you decorate it, and that'll keep it in too. All right, so I'm just making sure that it's completely wet on here. It's gonna be really cool. Okay, so I think so. What's happening a little bit is because I made the paper kind of big, it's kind of folding, but there is one. So I'm just gonna keep doing this. And cover this egg. So now I'm gonna do, I want some of this glitter. Okay. right, so this time I kind of did a smaller one. Another snowflake that I'm going to put next to it. So I'm going to take my glue again and just paint it a little bit on the egg in about the size of your paper, even bigger too, because you want to make sure it has something sticking to it underneath. Okay. Then take your tissue paper and put it over on the spot that you want it, and kind of pat it down with your finger. Still kind of folding over, but that's okay. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, and then see, now that it's there, then I'm going to take the glue and I'm going to put the glue over it. Some more. Just want it saturated. Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep going. This is fun. I hope that you all are enjoying this. Okay. Let's say. Now I just want it to be perfect, of course. As always, but nothing is perfect, and that is okay. So guess I'll do another maybe of the bigger snowflakes I have on here. So I'm kind of cutting in a circle. You can also do strips or thinner pieces. So actually, let me show you that. All right, so I'm gonna take a piece. All right, cut it so it's like that. And then I'm gonna cut it again because I want it to be like a strip. Not too long because the egg is not super long, but let's see how this works out. So I got a little strip. Figure out where I can put it. So I'll kind of just put it back here. All right, and then I'm going to take my egg. And what's kind of nice about that Mod Podge is it kind of dries quickly. But if not, you can just let it sit down and dry. Or else you can also use a hair dryer to dry it quicker. So I'm going to take the glue and kind of do it like it's going to be a strip. So it's a line, kind of bigger. Make sure there's enough space. All right, and then I'm going to take my strip and I'm going to lay it over the glue. Okay. Like that. And I'm going to cover it with the glue. Okay. Do that gently. You don't want to push down too hard, and then if you put way too like a whole lot of glue on and you keep kind of painting it, it might start breaking off. So okay. All right, so it's coming together. Okay, so I think actually that strip worked a bit better than doing the circles. So I'm going to keep doing strips then. I just want some of the... Okay. All right. Okay. That's kind of big. Cut that off. All right, so I got another strip. Line it up where I'm gonna put it. This one's a bit bigger than the other one. We'll see how that goes though, why not? I'll have it kind of going next to it. So if I hold it up here and I say, okay, it's going off of the top one and then kind of down there. All right, so that's gonna be a lot longer. So I'm going to take the glue, and I'm kind of setting it next to the other strip. So I'm going to put the glue, kind of cover the area. Okay. Right. This is actually going a lot faster than some of our other painting classes. But I think this is cool. It was Steve Zupin's idea, so thank you, Steve. All right, so now that I got the glue, and take the little strip and put it on top of the spot that you just laid the glue down. Okay, it's kind of long. So since it's kind of long, I'm gonna just cut off a little bit of it. Oh, okay. All right, so now I'll go over that strip with the glue so that it goes, kind of flattens out on the egg. The other strip went a little bit better, so maybe this one's too big. So it's all about kind of figuring out what size paper works best for you. I do feel like these strips are working out better than, like, let's say like squares or circles. Ooh, but be careful. I had my finger on an area that wasn't dry and it kind of pulled up the tissue paper. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this one to the side for a little bit and let part of it dry and come back to it. So I'm putting it in my egg shell box, all right? And then get the, all right, so if you have water, and then let's start painting. So pick out what colors you'd like to use. Okay. So what color? Ooh, I have an idea. All right, so I'm gonna go for yellow and purple. And what I think I'm gonna do, it's up to you how you wanna paint it, is yellow with purple polka dots. But I need, where are my paintbrushes? Oh, hold on. I will be right back. I just gotta grab my paintbrushes real quick. All right, I'm back. So I also grabbed, if you've seen these those crafty tapes, I think they call them wasabi tape. You can also put those on, and that would look pretty. I was gonna say this gold one I like. I don't know how long it is though, but I'll try that on another egg. So shake up my paint a little bit. We want to make sure that we don't add too much water because it'll make it harder, I think, to dry on the egg. Okay, so put that in. Take one of your paintbrushes. I'm going to use a big one. Put a little water on it and kind of dry it off a little bit. And gonna dip it in my yellow or whatever color and simply just start painting. Oh, this is the one with a big hole. Okay. I gotta make sure that I can cover that then. All right, so I'm seeing this is actually seems like an okay consistency. Since the acrylics that we have are pretty watery themselves, make sure you shake them up, and you might not even necessarily need water. Other than I like to use water at the very beginning to, sometimes the brushes get a little stiff, but this is going on here great. Like nice and smooth. Actually, it's going on smoother than it does on our canvases. So I like painting eggs. I can already tell you that. When I was younger, I did the egg where you take the dye and you dip them, and that's fun, but I've never painted an egg like this before. So it's a cool new experience. Okay. All right. And what's cool about our acrylic paint too is that it actually dries pretty quickly. So I might just I'm going to do part of it. And then I'm going to let it sit down to dry. And while it's drying, I can probably go back to paper mache so that I can then do another part. So as you can see, it just goes on so smooth. Okay, but I can probably do layers once it dries too, because it's kind of just moving it around. All right, so I got about half the egg. I'm gonna sit it in here to dry a little bit. Put my paintbrush in the water. And let's see how our paper mache guy is going. Ooh, he's still pretty wet. All right, so I'm putting him back. Okay, so I have this pretty tape. I'm just trying to think what I want to do underneath. I also found some glow in the dark paint. All right, I don't know if I have any of my permanent markers over here. Because you can also draw on it with markers. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Let's look up some ideas. Okay, so if you want to make an ornament with it, you want to do, if you have maybe thread or string, and put it through the holes. If you have a large crafting needle, that'll help to pull it through. Okay. All right, those are kind of fancy. Oh, that's cute. All right. Wow. All right, cool. Oh, they have a bejeweled egg. That's really neat. Okay. Wow, this is a great idea too. They said if you have a broken eggshell, don't throw it away. You can dye or paint the entire shell and let it dry, and then glue a little chicken inside. You can see that. I like their idea of the bejeweled egg. So if you have like glitter, that's what I was gonna say. That glitter might be cool. I have some of these. I have some glitter glues that I actually got a lot of these supplies at the Dollar Tree, meaning they were all $1 each, which is great. Some glue. Looking for my loose glitter. Oh, there we go. All right, so I got some loose glitter down here. Silver, and I think I'm just looking Oh, I got some nice colors on here too. All right, so I have some loose glitter. So what I'm thinking is I can put, ooh, okay. So if I want to do, okay, so let's say I want to do some of this, the gold on here. So, or also I have this cute little polka dot one. So I was thinking maybe doing one of these around the center. Let's see how much I have. Oh, actually I have more of this than I thought. Oh no, not a whole lot though. Okay. All right, so as you can see, I'm kind of at the end of this. It has some cardboard on the back. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit, and I'm gonna kind of, before I put it on, I'm gonna kind of see if it's gonna work out. So it actually looks like it might be okay, except that part of it is on the cardboard. So I'm gonna put that to the side and see how long this one I don't think is very long either. Actually, this one's probably gonna work out better, because you really want it to be not at the very end like this is, although I can still use that. But so cut this. What's nice about this is it's already sticky. So we'll stick it on its own, but then we'll also do the Mod Podge over it to seal it in. So I guess I'll do that first. So I want to figure out, I guess I can just start it, because I don't know how long it needs to be. All right, so I started it. See how this goes. Kind of just, you want to kind of push it down as you're turning it. So I'm kind of pushing it or flattening it while I'm going around. I don't know if it's going to line up right though. So, okay, actually it did. All right, so you kind of have it going around. Once you get it close, you can just take your scissors and cut it. All right, that lines up right. I don't think it's going to stick on its own. So I'm going to peel it back off a little bit. And I'm going to go back in with my paintbrush with the glue. And I'm just going to do, I already need some more. All right, so more glue. So I'm just going to glue like a line of glue around the center. Okay, kind of making it kind of thick, but okay. I know, this is a really cool project. I've never really decorated them like this before, but this is exciting. I actually enjoy that, and I'm enjoying this. Oh, I just thought of this. So what you could do too is, like, if you have, I'm just thinking of, I don't know, like tights, like fishnet tights or other things that you could lay on this and paint over it. It could make it a pattern. I do like the bejeweled egg. I think I might have crystals I could use. Okay. Right. All right, so I'm going to come back in. Try to get this tape. Ooh, this is going to be difficult. Okay. All right, so I'm going to kind of lay it nicely on there. You can even take a little bit of the glue after you got a little bit on, and we're going to, there we go. That's going to help. Kind of put some glue over it to kind of sit it down. It's not easy. If you have a glue gun, I think that would be helpful. I do have one, so I might grab mine. All right, now that I kind of have that part down, I'm gonna kind of go around with this and try to get it on there. All right, and I actually have it kind of lined up. All right, great. This one. All right. So where I'd first seal would be where the two ends of the tape connect. As you can see, it's right there. I'm gonna put some glue on there. Make sure that it stays. Sometimes if you take your paintbrush and you kind of push it down and kind of hold it, it kind of helps. Okay. All right. This just wants to move around, so I don't know how this is going to work, but I think the thinner the tape is, the better. You want to make sure that, you saturate it. I think with the tape, you can put a lot more glue on it. So I'm kind of just doing the glue at the middle right now to get the middle stuck because the sides are kind of coming up. But I'm putting a lot on. Okay, so let's get the middle. It's great. All right, then I got to start going out to the sides. That's gonna be a toughie. It actually looks kind of okay, but it's so I think I might just I'm gonna put it to the side for now and come back to it. All right, so let's see. What do I got? Ooh. Perfect. So now we have our little paper mache. I'm coming back to the little paper mache guy. Let's see. All right, so like I said, I liked the strips. Okay, so I'll take some of my tissue paper and cut a little line. And what's cool, I'm gonna tell you, I think, actually no, the tissue paper so far and the painting are the easiest. The tape, I'm gonna say that if anything, what I would do is I would just take little parts of the tape and put it on and glue it on. I think it's difficult to get all the way around. All right, so got a little part of the tissue paper, and then I go, all right, where do I want to put it? Okay. Maybe I'm going to put it to cover this hole. All right, so once you figure out kind of where you want to sit it, come back with some glue to that area. I know, this is really cool. I know what's nice about doing kind of like the paper mache is that you definitely would cover up your holes. Although, if you want to make them be like ornaments, you might want to keep one of the holes open. Didn't really think about that. Or you can come back later and poke it through because tissue paper is very thin. All right, so I'm kind of pushing it down on the egg. All right, now take some glue and glue it down. It might crinkle a little bit, but you know what? I think it still looks great. You won't get as much crinkle the smaller the pieces you use, because the reason it's crinkling is because of the shape of the egg. But it's not really bothering me. All right, so let's grab another piece of tissue. All right. That's kind of smaller. Maybe thinner would be good too. I don't know, but this is okay. So I actually have a nice spot right here. So I lay it out over it to see how much glue or where I need to put the glue. All right, I'm gonna come back, put the glue on the egg where I'm about to put the tape. Okay, there we go. All right, then I'm gonna lay it on where I just put the glue. Perfect. And kind of tap it down. Okay. And then take the glue and paint on the glue to seal it down. All right. Very cool. It's pretty nice how fast this stuff does dry though. So I guess that might be the benefit of doing a couple eggs. Or doing a blow dryer, I think is good too. So I'm gonna kind of put this down, grab another part. Okay, Modensi has a question. Can I use Mod Podge on the painted egg? Yes. The only thing I'm going to say is make sure that the paint is dry first, because the Mod Podge might, what do I want to say? I don't know what it would do, but make sure it's at least dry. It's not coming up, and then you can put Mod Podge over it, because that'll help to keep the paint on it, since the Mod Podge is a sealant. All right, let's see. Maybe, all right, perfect. So once I figured out where to put it, and then I'll put some glue or some Mod Podge. Okay. Lay it on. There we go. And, oop, that's happening again. That means I need to put it down soon. I was holding a part that is wet. So this will be my last one that I do right now, and then I'm going to let it dry again. So it's no rush. It's better to let it dry than have it start peeling off on your hand since it's wet with glue. Okay. All right, tea. Very nice. All right, so I'm take it. I'm trying to figure out where it's not wet. All right, so I'm putting this one back. Ooh. Be careful, I guess, where you sit it if it has the Mod Podge, because it might stick to the paper towel. So a plate might be better. All right. Next, here's my egg. Oh, I think it looks so cute. It's nice yellow. All right, so I got my paintbrush back. I'm gonna get the water off of it. All right, Modensi said, can I use fabric on the egg? I think that you could use fabric on the egg, but I don't think that Mod Podge would be strong enough. It might not be. So what I would do is, if you're going to use fabric, make sure the fabric is very small pieces that can actually fit onto it. And then I would take a hot glue gun or perhaps super glue to glue it on, versus the Mod Podge I don't think is for fabric. Let me see though. Let's see. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Apparently, you can use Mod Podge on fabric. All right, so I did not know that. Very cool. But I wouldn't try to do it the way you're doing, like you do the tape. I try to do smaller pieces. All right, so I got the egg, and I'm gonna keep painting it. This is the egg that has the big bottom, so I haven't decided what I'd like to do with that yet, but this might be one that maybe I hang. Okay. Glad I was able to answer your questions, Modensi. This is really cool. And this is like a nice relaxing activity. So I'm always, trying to think of things you can do to make yourself feel good or calm. Okay, so it looks like I might be able to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to have to put it down to dry. Actually, I might be able to do most of it. Just get a little paint on my hand, and that's okay. So I'm going to try to finish this one so that I can next, once it's dry, do the polka dots like I said I wanted to do. Right. All right. So it's kind of all wet, but nice about those styrofoam kind of egg containers is it holds them nicely. All right. So I guess I could go back to this guy. I'm really not gonna say I like it. I think I'm actually gonna take this one off because this tape is just not working out. So luckily, see. All right, that's okay. So what was I gonna do? Oh, the glitter. Okay. Well, I think what I want to do actually is I think I'm going to paint this a color and then I'm going to glue gems on it. So where is that? Okay, I kind of like this little, it's like a robin's egg. Mix it up. It has glue on it, but you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to put the paint on top of it. I'll get that yellow off first. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just paint this one completely this color. Like a kind of a robin's egg blue. And it's actually going right over the glue. But the glue is pretty dry because I don't think you want to mix the paint with the glue unless the glue is dry. But I could stand to be corrected. Oh, what was that? I was going to say, I think you can use like, kind of like, I want to say, sorry, like crayons. But I don't know. I think I've used like clear ones. So they're probably specifically where you can write on it. And then once you put the paint over it, it shows up through. But I think I might have to look that one up a little bit more. All right. Saturate this one. Okay. Ooh, okay. Dropped it. It's okay though. Yeah, this is tough. I just kind of want it, just the paint all over it. But I need to let it dry too. So, all right. Okay, so I got one in the back in here. Oh. Also, if you have the egg container, you can paint actually the egg in it that way if you want. So like, as you can see, it's right there. It's kind of holding it for me. So if you kind of lightly put some paint on it, it actually works out. Very cool. But I know I've had a lot of paint on this, so I'm gonna have to let it dry a bit, probably longer. All right, so I think we can go back to the paper mache. I'm gonna grab my glue gun real quick. That. Show you guys. Make sure I have a little sparkle. Actually, might be in my art bag though. Okay. I'll be right there. Just trying to find something. Oh, wow. Luckily, I have found something. And I have a bunch of loose crystals somewhere. I was just trying to find them. So, all right. Perfect. Which one am I going to do? Keep that in. Okay, so I can't. Oh, here we go. All right. Plugging in my hot glue gun. Turn on my hot glue gun. All right. I'm back. It's getting kind of busy on my desk. Oh, good. I found them. Good. All right. Yes, I'm excited. As long as that dries. How are we doing on time? All right, we're doing great on time, actually. So, I guess to speed it up, I might do my blow dryer. Paper mache. All right, going back to the paper mache egg. All right, getting close to done with that. Might glue. Oh, I might want some glitter on it. So, my phone right here. Oh, All right, so all right, so I got my strip. Figure out where you want to place it on the egg. Okay, and then get your brush that you're using with the glue. I've been putting the brush that I've been using with the Mod Podge in water in between uses so that it doesn't dry. But make sure you're using a paintbrush that you might not care about as much because it is, you can probably get the glue off, but it's not a guarantee. But if you use like soap and water afterwards with it, it should get it off. All right. So I'm putting the glue where I'd like to sit this. All right. Okay. All right, and I'm going to place it down on there. All right, and then come back and cover it with the glue. Oh, if you need to wash any paint off your hands, you are more than welcome to. Because I was like, I have some on mine, but I think it's dry already. There we go. I am grateful that the Mod Podge dries really quickly. Okay. All right. Grab another strip. Oh, actually, I have one. I should probably just cut a couple ones so I don't have to keep doing it. All right. So. Well, yeah, I got some hand sanitizer and that kind of got the glue off. So that works out. All right, next strip. Got it. Place it where you would like it. I'm going to put it next to that. Your paintbrush with your Mod Podge or glue. Paint that area. I'm actually putting it right next to the one I just did. Okay. All right. Place it where you'd like it. Kind of tap it down. I think I already need more Mod Podge. What's great is I found out, and I think Modensi also told me that they sell Mod Podge at Dollar Tree. So you can get one of these, and this is like the average size for $1 versus it being what, maybe $3 at Michael's. Even though Michael's does have good sales, I'm not talking bad about it. It's just good to know where you can get deals too, if you don't want to spend like 20 bucks. Okay. Alrighty. Where else do I need it? Okay, right there. All right. Set up where you want your next one and put the glue underneath. I'm getting close to covering this. This is only one layer, and you can just do one layer. It doesn't have to be multi. It's really up to you. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back down to dry. that. Okay, my yellow egg is dry for the most part. Oh, the glue is coming out. Okay, so let's see. I don't think my turquoise one is dry. No, it's not. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a little bit more of the turquoise on here. I was going to say I could grab my blow dry it real quick. So let me do that real quick. Be right back. I'm not doing it. So it's drier than it was. I did put kind of a lot on here, so I'm going to let it dry a little bit more. Okay, all right. So, because I want that one to have the crystals on it. All right, so I'm going to take my purple, put it on here. Okay. Okay. Then I got my yellow egg, which has actually been drying very nice and quickly, which I appreciate. And like I said, I wanted to do little polka dots, so I'm going to probably take another paintbrush. Okay. Put some water on it. Okay. Dip it in my purple. And just doing it by hand, so it's not going to be perfect circles. But that is okay. You can do kind of what we did with the ornaments, where we kind of, I don't know how to describe how to do this. You kind of put it down and wrap it around. I don't know. I don't think that looks great. All right, so just a circle. Or you can do stripes, or, you know, you can leave it one color. It's all up to you. It's your egg. So that is one. I was going to also say is you can always use the back of something to be a circle. So I actually have maybe the back of a pen, perhaps. Oh, and if actually also if you have, yeah, that looks great. If you have, what was I going to say? What are those things called? Well, cotton balls you can do a lot with paint also. Or Q-tips, that's what I meant. Q-tips work great as well. because I don't want that big one anymore. So I like how the other one looks with the pen cap. So I'm gonna just cover up this purple, and now I'm gonna have to do it a couple times and let it dry, but it's pretty neat. I wouldn't suggest necessarily using a pen because you're gonna have to get the paint off of it, but I'm kind of like, it's okay. All right, so perfect. It's great. And it's actually a pen. I'm using the stylus part of it, I guess. So what's cool about it is when you push it down, it kind of goes down with it and makes like this really nice circle. So I did not know that. So it's exciting when you're trying to figure something out and you learn something new out of it. Oh, this looks so cute. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. All right. That egg. Paper mache. It's all kind of drying right now. So I want to show you before we're done how the what it looks like with doing like glue. The hairdryer is okay. I didn't think it was great. It kind of helped it dry. I'd suggest just letting it dry, even if that takes some time. And you can use Mod Podge to glue like glitter, like there's loose glitter you can do. I wanted to do some of these bigger crystals. So if you're doing loose glitter, Mod Podge is fine. It's strong enough to hold it. It's probably strong enough to hold certain 3D objects. But I'd suggest maybe using either a glue gun or super glue. All right, well, actually, I'm going to glue some on my little paper mache. So it's pretty much covered. All you're going to do is take the super glue, the glue gun. Let me wipe off my hands real quick too. And you want to put it on an area that is already dry. Because when things are wet, it just complicates it. Okay. All right. So I'm saying, all right, I'm going to put it on. This is so exciting for me. All right. So like this area is dry. Woo! Wow, I dropped it. It's okay though. Great. All right. So I just want you to see. Put a little bit of glue. Okay. You know it dries fast. So if you have something to put on it, make sure you do it quickly. Okay. I'm going to push it down on. See? Also, I saw an egg that was really cool that was painted, and then all the person did was they took the glue gun and they just put glue all over it, and it dried that way, and it looked really neat. So that's another idea. Okay. All right, so that's how that looks. Guess I'll do a couple more. That's the nice thing, at least, about the glue gun. You don't even need that much glue. It kind of comes out underneath. But is that it dries so quickly. So it sucks sometimes, but it's also a good thing because then you have something that, you know, is going to stay on. And I think it suits this because this tissue paper has some glitter on it, so the crystals look nice. I'm just taking them and I kind of just drop it over the top. Be careful with the hot glue because it hurts, it burns. So it's that in between of like, you want to take your time, but at the same time, you need to get something on it before it dries. But what's perfect would be if you just wanted to do those glue, just glue by itself. I can actually do a couple maybe of those too, so I'll show you. So just take a little bit, put it down. Oh, sorry. Okay. And then, I don't want that. Actually, it looks okay. But you can get a 3-dimensional type thing just with the glue. But I just want all these crystals on here. So I'm going to do the crystal, but also it does look pretty cool. But so you can see this egg has some glitter going on. All right, how is this guy going? All right, so I was gonna put the glitter on here, but I was gonna say I could just do maybe some loose glitter. So you could do Mod Podge or the glue gun. Let's say I want to do, I guess maybe I'll try to go for a heart. We'll see how this goes though, because you're gonna need to put, I think that's gonna be kind of tough with that glue gun, so. I was gonna say, these glitter glues are pretty great. But let's say you wanted to just do a dot and then put loose glitter on. So I got the loose glitter. And that you'll want to make sure the egg is dry with the loose glitter, or else it'll, but if you like the glitter just on the paint too, that's fine. But with this, you can do this with Mod Podge too. I guess I'll just show you with the glue gun real quick. But so you put a little bit of glue wherever you want it. And then I'm going to take the glitter and I'm going to kind of pour it on. Okay, and then I kind of smushed it down, actually. So you got that. That actually kind of looks good just like that. Okay. Okay. But also, I kind of liked how that looked, so I was going to say, I'm just going to unplug this hot glue gun because I don't need it anymore. Just give you guys some different examples of stuff. So, all right, so I got my brush that I do the hodgepodge with, and I was going to do got something in my eye, sorry. Take some hodgepodge, put it on the egg too, and you could use that for glitter as well. Oh, and this just came right off. So that's strange. So the hot glue may or may not be good. I'm not sure. So actually, let's just do I think it's okay with the crystals, I hope, but they might fall off. I'm not sure. So I'm going to take some hodgepodge on the egg. A little bit. It's kind of a circle or something. And then I'm going to go back with that loose glitter and just pour it on. And then, see? And you can make it, a design. It doesn't have to just be like random like that, but cool. So I hope that you enjoyed it. They're not all complete, but just to give ideas, you can do, like dots. Got a kind of a glitter egg. You can use markers, but make sure they're permanent markers. And I think also this little tissue paper turns out great. So, if you have any questions and concerns, feel free to reach out to me. And I can also send you directions. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming to Painting with Whitney. All right. Bye-bye.